As what Dr. Rizal once said, ang kabataan ay ang pag-asa ng bayan. But how could we defend our country to the children if those who teach them are unorganized and dysfunctional? According to Philstar Global, among 79 participating countries and economies, the Philippines scored the lowest in reading comprehension in the 2018 Programa for International Student Assessment. Reading was the main subject, assessed among 15-year-old students in the 2018 PISA. The Philippines had an average reading score of 340, a whopping 200 points below China, which scored 555 and more than 100 points less than the OECD average. Education is very important in today's rapidly growing society. Efficient whilst effective education is a must. Students do not have enough time to cram personal, academic, and social works, as school works are being thrown to them like they hold no weight. A nation with a long history of intellectual and educational reform has introduced several unique and easy adjustments throughout the years that have entirely transformed their educational system. They rank higher than the United States and are overtaking nations in Eastern Asia. Finland is setting the bar high because to its common sense, policies, and a comprehensive educational system that prioritizes fairness above performance. The Finns begin by altering extremely minute details. Students start school when they are 7 years old. Throughout their formative years, they are granted complete freedom from the constraints of required schooling. Children in Finland are required to attend school for a total of 9 years. After the ninth grade or at the age of 16, everything is optional. Most days, students just have a few classes. They have several opportunities to eat, engage in recreational activities, and simply unwind. Several 15 to 20-minute breaks throughout the day where the kids may get up, stretch, and get some air, and also decompress. The professors also require this kind of setting. At Finnish schools, there are teacher chambers set up where they may rest, get ready for the day, or just hang out. As teachers are also people, they require a functional environment in order to perform the best of their ability. There is a basic pattern in Finland's approach to its educational system. Greater compassion, less unnecessary regimentation, and less stress. The OECD reports that students in Finland have the least number of extracurricular activities and schoolwork worldwide. They just work on schoolwork for half an hour each night. Moreover, Finnish pupils don't have tutors. Nonetheless, they outperform societies with unhealthy school-to-life ratios and minimal stress. Without the additional demands associated with succeeding in a topic, Finnish pupils are completing what they need to in school. They may concentrate on the important job at hand learning and developing as people instead of worrying about grades and busy work. A student's time is significantly wasted by getting up early, taking the bus or a ride, and participating in extracurricular activities before and after class. You have drowsy, unmotivated teenagers on your hands when you consider that some classes begin as early as 8 or 6 in the morning. In Finland, classes often begin between 9 and 9:45 a.m. Early start hours are harmful to students' development, health, and well-being according to research. Finnish schools often finish around 2 to 2:45 p.m. and have later start times. The lesson periods are longer and breaks are also longer. The overall system isn't there to ram and cram information to their students, but to create an environment of holistic learning. Children around the age of 5 might not be prepared for the environment they face in the reception class, which will need them to face a variety of social and emotional adjustments in addition to dealing with a curriculum that may not be suited to their requirements. Stress and anxiety may result from these circumstances. Some kids can experience long-term issues as a result of this. Experiences in the early years may have a harmful impact on younger children throughout their education. This can still have an impact on how well they achieve academically. It implies that systems where students begin school later, such as those in several Nordic nations, have more balanced results. In the Philippines, high school students generally take 10 subjects per school year, which are mandated by the National Department of Education for all high schools. Elective subjects are not the norm in public schools. Typically, School days are from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday to Friday. Classrooms average about 50 students, boys and girls together, and students remain in one classroom and teachers come in for different subjects. Longer school days may cause weariness and focus problems, rendering the additional classes useless. The last hour of the day is meaningless if pupils are physically and psychologically unable to focus. Several pupils, even those in the 8th grade, have post-lunch attention deficit disorder and aren't psychologically prepared to complete an additional hour of classwork. When transportation and after-school activities are taken into consideration, many kids may be working 12-hour days if school began earlier and or stayed in session later. This is particularly true in rural regions where students must travel considerably farther than they must in cities. Students in remote locations will need to board their bus at 6:30 a.m. In order to get to school by 7:30 a.m. and could get home by 5 o'clock. The extended school day may cause pupils to become fatigued, worn out, and inattentive, or compel them to give up after school activities that are crucial for their social development. In the Philippines, students are rarely asked how they personally feel about a topic or requested to expand learning and investigate on their own. Students are not familiar with receiving immediate feedback and one-to-one consultations about academic performance. They usually wait for comments on the report card at the end of the grading quarter. Student-teacher consultations are very rare and parent-teacher consultations are the norm. Taking into consideration, students stay away from home for 12 hours. When class dismisses, they are tired, exhausted, and done for the day, but they have still chores and homework to do. Taking 10 subjects a day and at least two of the subjects always give take-home activities. Students spend a lot of time answering the assignments since it gives higher grades than examinations. Students also need to spare time in order to take care of themselves, to do household chores, and provide adequate leisure time to enjoy. But most of the time, the students prepared for themselves are just used in order to rest and get ready to wake up early in the morning the next day. To sum up, in today's rapidly evolving world, education is crucial. Efficient whilst effective education is a must. However, because schoolwork is given to students as though it were of no importance, children do not have enough time to cram in personal, intellectual, and social responsibilities. Considering Finland's approach toward education might be helpful and improve the state of our country, but it may take some effort to adjust if these changes were implemented. Us Filipinos are very cultural and we tend to stick to what was taught to us with little to no questions asked. With an enormous population of over 100 million, it may take laborious efforts in order to fully implement these practices. However, if these methods are taken into account, they may substantially benefit us and enhance not only our nation but also the daily lives of our students.